Alright, bro, patience. That's what we gotta talk about. Patience. What's going on here? So I noticed on Twitter, people more our speed aren't really trading in the first 15 minutes to first half hour of the market. And to be honest with you, I woke up late, 10:30ish. I think I texted you in the group chat, and I still made money today. So we gotta be patient. So this is what I want to show you as far as being patient. Right now we're on SPY, we're on the 5 minute, and I want to show you something. This was like a really, really clean day and really easy to see. So we're going to go over that about being patient. So we're on the 5 minute chart. Our first candle is right here. So we're going to draw intraday levels for support and resistance. And now you're not going to know these, obviously you can't see in the future, but as the day progresses, like this right here is a pretty important candle. It's at 10:10. That would be at about 10:05 in the morning. So you'd be waiting a little bit to trade, and yeah, you would have missed a little bit of a dip. But that level right there, where you see, you can already tell before it wicked up to that level, wick, and then right there was a double top. Next 5 minute candle, it wicked to about this level. This level is going to come in pretty important for the rest of the day. So I like to wick intraday. Not wick. I like to make lines intraday for support and resistance because, especially today, I didn't have, SPY charted this low. I wasn't prepared for SPY to be this low, and that was on me. But anyways, back to patience. You have a double bottom right here, right there, these two candles. So you draw basically wherever there was like a reversal. You have a reversal at these two candles. You can make that a little higher. Now, pretty much from 10:10, now watch this, I'm just going to move right, and you'll see it already. From 10:10, there was a level that was built that was really hard to break or maintain for the rest of the day. Now, you can see right here, boom, boom, kind of fought towards there, bounce back down. Now, on the bottom here, we'll make one more support and resistance, because that's a double bottom. Now look, still in the 5 minute, you had this candle wick up to the previous, like this is at 12:30, and it's fighting the 10:10 price. Okay, now you have a couple, what is it, 105, kind of climbed back down, then went back up to that same level, which is like the 440.61. And then look, you zoom out just a tiny bit, you can see this. Where is it? Nope, that's not what we want. We want this. This was basically the trading channel. Like if you wanted to ride the wave, that's riding the wave. So if you want to be patient, being patient is key. You want to buy puts at resistance, buy calls at support. Now down in here, I really didn't like this action. up and down, we already made these intraday levels before it even reached here. I mean, once it reached here, we made an intraday level. But this was just going into no man's land, and we weren't sure where support was. And finally made one. You can see it wick to it here, wick to the top, met here, double bottom, wick to the top. This is kind of a full candle inside of it. Then it wicked back down, wicked back up. There's really no confirmation as to which way it's going, so there's really no reason to be in a trade in this time frame. So that's why it's called being patient. Now, once you start breaking resistances or breaking supports or meeting a resistance or meeting a support, then that's where patience pays off. Like here, that would have been a decent entry if you would have caught the top of this resistance, because you're going all the way back to 1010 and you're at 12:30. You know, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes later. Yeah, it pays. Patience pays. I mean, you would have got in early and you would have rode this down. If you wanted to, you could have sold at the reversal, but of course nobody can see in the future. But then look, it builds back up to the same resistance. Now, you would have seen a trade going against you, and that might have scared you off, or it might have scared anybody off. It might have scared me off. But if you're not going to get above, if it's not going to get above where you bought, or even if it goes up a little bit above where you bought, if you have a solid entry, you waited for that resistance, and it didn't break, you have a solid entry. Why let it go? If it's not going to break above your entry, you know, it's only half hour later, less than that, and then from there, you know, you wick up to resistance, and then you break a daily support. You wick back above, but close below daily support. You crush another daily support, and then boom, 1, 2, 3 candles later, you're at another daily support. And then 1 candle later, you're way below your trading channel, and that's at 145. And then from there, it's just a nice, steady climb all the way down until, you know, my blue candles are the daily resistance and support. So that came into play. So I did have that charted. I didn't have anything in between charted. What's also funny to notice is that I have the EMA 9. It's the red line you see going across. And I mainly use it for the SPY daily level. But we're way below that. And it's kind of cool to notice that once it broke below the 5 minute EMA 9, or broke above, it was also a sign for puts and for calls. And then you can see here, you know, it never crossed back above the 5 minute EMA 9 until right there. So you had from 120 all the way down to 335. A clear break that never broke above that EMA 9. So the patience that pays off is not getting scared, is waiting for your entries, that your support and your resistances. Just jumping in some bullshit like this, where you really have no idea which way is up or which way is down. Like right all in here, this is a waste of fucking time. Waste. You know, if you buy like here, That's a nice entry. But then you break down and it starts doing this wiggle waggle shit, you know, that's just a sign to get out, because you don't know which way it's going. If it's going to go back against you, which it eventually did. You can get back up here in the resistance, and like I said, if you get a good entry at that resistance line, there's really no reason. You can take profit if you see it going against you. You can get all the way out, you can trim. But if it never breaks above, like where you bought, or it doesn't break above that far where you bought, you're still in business. And if you were to buy here, and then sell here, or here, and then you see it come up here, you'd be like, okay, I made the right call. And then fucking 20 minutes later, the fucking thing just bottoms. You'd be fucking kicking yourself. So, when you, staying patient is for entries and exits, but patience is also, why am I selling? I bought at resistance. Why am I going to sell at resistance? I could sell at support, and then maybe I'd trim at support. It's really up to you and what you want to do. But for pretty much the whole morning into the afternoon, you're trading inside 439 and 440.61 for most of the morning into the early afternoon. And if you want to trade inside there, that's fine. You can make some money in here. There are moves to be made, but it's all about those intraday levels. That was the most important one, and we found it technically at 9:50, but it was a confirmation at 10:10 and 10:15, and then even more confirmation at 10:55, 11 o'clock, 12:30, 1:05. That was, you never broke above the high of day, and then you're at your support or your resistance for most of the day, or below your resistance for most of the day. So it was basically everything under this line. You could be making money if you do it the right way. You stay patient. Just a quick look at the 2-minute chart. You can see these lines in play. Zoom out a little bit. Look, still the same price range. A little bit more. See this chop in here? I hate this shit. All this. Fuck that. There's no clean break. Like right here, clean break for calls, clean break for puts. You can still stay in puts. Here, you can still stay in. Like if you bought at resistance up here, there's no reason to get shooken out. Until you see maybe a reversal down here, then you're out because you're at a support or a reversal. Once you see, there's really no major reversal that would have got you out. Like if I would have bought up here, I probably would have sold here, because that would have been one of my reversal signals. It's one of my favorite reverse patterns. These 3 candles. I would have probably sold that green candle, and then it would have just been chop, and then it breaks above that EMA 9 line, and then I see another reversal up here. This is like a 1-2 quad top on a 2-minute, but it also wicked up to that earlier resistance line. Comes back down, resistance again, and down she goes, stepping down the whole fucking way down. You might get scared here, this is like an opportunity to sell, opportunity to trim, but you're on the 2-minute. And this red line, I forget when the fuck I drew that, but that was a major support or resistance for me. Oh, it's at about 438, that makes sense. And then the daily line, it's probably floating around like it says 436.41. And then you can see that daily line, that daily support resistance, that came into play at the end of the day. So I'm pretty sure this is longer than I expected, but there's a lot of good information in here. I just want to show you real quick. It's not always that clean. I'll go back to the 5-minute, and this was yesterday. Like, look at this shit. Like, for us, we're basically just guessing in this area. Yeah. See? Basically where that first purple line is. And then that's like the trading range. And once it broke below your trading range, that purple line, look at the drop. You know? Just about being patient. Like, to me, there was really, that's chop right there, that circle. That's a lot of chop. There's a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers. Like, every fucking candle, it's red, green, red, green, red, green. That's a mess. You know, I personally wouldn't even touch it. If you want to see it on the 2, let's just go back a tiny bit more. Yeah, look at that fucking mess. How the fuck are you gonna trade that? I'm not trading that shit. You know, you'd be scalping like 5%, 10%. But for me, especially like at work, I can't trade that shit. So I always look for reversals, which there are reversals in here, which you could trade. But that's a lot of fucking chops, and this is the 2-minute chart, and there's a lot of fucking wicks. There's a lot of uncertainty in here, and I'm not a big fan of uncertainty when it comes to trading. I want validation, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Let me know if you have any questions.